All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Unidos Unplugged, the podcast where community culture and wellness take the spotlight. I am your host, Diego Villarreal, outreach specialist for Unidos contra la Diabetes. I'm joined today by my co-host, Ms. Claire Garza.
Hey everybody,
Say
glad
hi,
to be
Claire.
here.
And we're joined with a very special guest today as well. Our guest of honor is going to be Ms. Haley Salazar, lead clinical research coordinator for Futuro Clinical Trials. Say hello.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
All right, awesome. So, on that note, Haley, if you want to just give us a little bit of info about yourself, a little bit of background, then we can just kind of get right into it.
Sure. So, my name is Haley Salazar, as you've mentioned. I am the lead clinical research coordinator at Futuro Clinical Trials. Futuro Clinical Trials is a multi-therapeutic clinical research site located in McAllen, Texas. And I oversee a lot of the trials that we have going on at Futuro Clinical Trials, ensuring quality and compliance.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, if you want to give us a little bit of background on, I guess, Futuro Clinical Trials and how it came to be. I know a lot of people might not be familiar with Futuro Clinical Trials, so how all that came to be and just a little bit of background on the organization itself.
Sure. So Futuro Clinical Trials is owned and operated by Dr. Joseph Caparuso. Dr. Caparuso is a podiatrist out of McAllen, and he has been serving the Rio Grande Valley since 1989.
Wow.
And so he's been performing wound care and just treating all issues involving podiatry, right? But he wanted to explore other indications and tip his foot into research. So he has been doing research for about 20 years overall, but did open Futuro Clinical Trials in 2014. It is an independent clinical research site, and I feel that a lot of people don't know what clinical research is, so I'll start to touch on that a little bit. Clinical research is the, process of studying new medications that are not yet approved and are not yet available on the market. And so what our job is to provide that data to these pharmaceutical companies, ensure that the product is safe for use and for ultimately approval by the FDA. So we're able to be that kind of middleman providing that data for these pharmaceutical companies to get that drug approved.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So, on that note, do you want to maybe take us a little bit into how your journey began?
Sure.
Yeah,
how
I'm
you
very
went-
curious
yeah.
how you got
Okay,
into
great.
this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been with Futuro Clinical Trials for going on 4 years. I started out fresh out of my undergrad. I have a bachelor's in biology, and so I did want to explore science, and I felt that clinical research is a great way to do it, the study of new medications, new medical treatments and devices. So I started there as a clinical research coordinator. What our coordinators do, really they handle the great chunk of work that we handle at Futuro Clinical Trials. A coordinator is in charge of executing the protocol. So they're in charge of scheduling study visits. They're in charge of coordinating when certain investigators are physicians that handle various indications, right? Because Dr. Caparuso, as a podiatrist, it would be out of his scope to handle things like hernias, cosmetic surgery, right? So we have sub-investigators that come in and assist us with that. So coordinators are in charge of scheduling their in and out time of the office and coordinating when the study visits are going on. They also handle queries, right? Because all of this data is being sent to these pharmaceutical companies for review. So they may have questions on it, right? Someone is showing a symptom that they haven't seen before. They're going to ask us some questions about that. So we're making sure that we have all of the available information regarding the symptom, right? If we get a symptom, let's say it's headache, and they're on this new medication, they're on an investigational product. A lot of the time, we don't know if they're on the investigational product or on placebo. That's a whole other story we'll get into later.
Yeah.
But, so if they have questions regarding, let's say that patient had a headache, and we call them subjects when they're in our studies because they're it's all confidential. We refer to them based on their subject number. We don't talk about their names. We don't really discuss
Anonymous,
that information.
right?
It's very anonymous, yes. So, anyways, like I was saying, our subjects, we're able to share that information, be that middleman for those pharmaceutical companies. They want more information from these subjects. We're able to have that face-to-face interaction and say, tell us exactly what you're feeling. Tell us, when did it start? When did it stop, right? And what was the nature of it? Have you felt this before? Is it new? And so it's a lot of information that we gather for these pharmaceutical companies and tracking that information, maintaining these good relationships with the subjects because we want to ensure compliance. We want to make sure that they're coming back to their visits. And it's a lot. The coordinator does handle a lot.
That is a lot. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, no, but it's so rewarding. It's a great it's a great gig. I like this. I love it so
that's
much.
awesome.
I found a passion in clinical research.
Oh, we can tell, right?
Yeah.
Clearly very passionate, which is great.
Yeah. I am very passionate about this. I think that I never knew what it was personally.
Yeah.
And so that's my goal now, is making sure everybody knows what this is, because if I have a passion for it so deep, there's something great that's going on here, and I think that everyone needs to know that. So I know I'm rambling.
No, not at all.
Based.
I mean, I just wanted to ask, and sorry, I also don't want to hijack,
please.
but just because I'm not as familiar with clinical trials and all that goes into research, right? But like, why is it important for like the future of healthcare and health in general to do this?
Definitely. So every medication that we use today, Tylenol and whatever it may be, metformin, right? Ozempic is a huge one right now that's on, right?
Yep.
All of these medications have been through clinical trials. They've been tested. They've been analyzed and the FDA ensures that this is a safe product to go out on the market. And overall, it may have some side effects, right? Yeah. But it's minimal risk. Where they know that there's more benefit than risk, and that's why it got approved. And so we're just verifying that for these pharmaceutical companies. We do conduct phase 1 through 4 studies, and that's a whole other, there's lots of definitions there, but what that means is phase 1 to 2, that's fresh out of that in vitro stage when they're testing on the labs, in the labs actually, right? A lot of people have a stigma saying, oh, I'm going to be a lab rat if I join this. That's already done. They've already done that testing on the lab rats and the guinea pigs, right? Yeah. And now we're testing it on humans because we want to make sure we've got the good data. We know it works. And now we need to see, how is the dosing going to work on a human, right? So that's what we're testing. We know this medication works. It's got good data behind it, but let's test it on a person. Let's test it on someone with the indication, and let's see how that relates in our data. So it's the reason that we do clinical research is to advance these therapies, discover new therapies for indications that don't yet have treatments. We need to advance our medicine, our medical therapies, treatments, devices, and so that's how we do that through clinical research. That's how we find these breakthrough medications, and now HIVs, right, coming through with advancements, and they're having vaccines, I believe, right? They're starting to approve things like that. So that's all through clinical research that we're able to get these amazing advancements, bring them to light.
And I'm imagining it's also like, it's important too because as like COVID, now there's like a new strand of it, or like, there's
always
things like that are always happening, and so it's important to like, let's try something else to figure out how we can fix this, or we can help people. And
biology will always advance on its own, right? We're proof. So we need to keep up with it. We need to make sure that we're counteracting.
It's crazy.
So,
Absolutely.
So definitely.
That's awesome. So if somebody were interested, right, in joining a clinical trial,
that's where I was headed.
Okay, yeah, talk to us a little bit about.
How do you get, like, how does someone just end up like, oh, I'm going? Do you guys offer certain what's the right word for it? Help me out here.
Like
do you
grants or something? Let me tell you how it works.
Yes, asking for a friend.
I want the rundown.
So the way how to get into a clinical research study, it is voluntary. That's a big part of what we do. Everything is voluntary. We do not bill your insurance. There's no cost to care if you do qualify for a trial. It is all on a voluntary basis, and you may get paid for your participation, right? Because these pharmaceutical companies, they need this data to get this drug approved. So they need your help. They need you to join these trials and be a part of this big thing that's happening. And so they may compensate you for that. A lot of our community here in the Valley they lack access to care. They're unable to pay for their visits. They don't have insurance. They don't have the means to get to and from visits, transportation, and we're able to offer those things to them. Now, we don't work on referrals, right? We don't need a referral from a physician. If you see that we're enrolling at this time we're enrolling for diabetic foot ulcers, and you have one, you can just walk in. You give us a call. Just see, and we will review if you will qualify. Now, to qualify for a study, it's dependent on the protocol. Every protocol is different. Every trial that we receive is different. And the inclusion and exclusion criteria may differ. Typically, though, for diabetic foot ulcers, the criteria is that you have to have diabetes, type 1 or type 2, typically. And you have to be on a stable regimen. You have to be on some established care, and you're taking medications, and you're trying to at least maintaining your diabetes. And really, that's a lot of what you need. We do the hard testing. We'll do lab draws to ensure you qualify. We may do EKGs. We do some vascular tests to ensure adequate perfusion, right, and adequate circulation.
And this will be all of free of charge for the patient?
Yes. So You can walk in. We do what is called a pre-screen.
Okay.
And so that is a consent that you'll sign initially, but you're not consenting to a trial yet. We won't put you into any study without ensuring that it is the best option for you. So when you come into our clinic, we do what is called a pre-screen consent. You will read through and just confirm that what assessments we're able to do, you're okay with that, you consent to it, you review that, sign it, and then we can start asking you questions. Let's get your medical history. Let's see what medications you're taking. For a lot of the we have so many different studies. We really have grown so big, but when we're talking cosmetics trials, right? A lot of the inclusion there is that you haven't already had, let's say, tummy tucks, right?
Yeah.
It'll be your first one. They want usually primary, first time. Or you can't have had a complication that occurred with the past tummy tuck or a past plastic surgery procedure, stuff like that. Those are things that we'll look into. So we'll really dig deep into all your past medical history, all your past surgical procedures, any medications you're taking, any upcoming procedures that may interfere with the studies, right? And then we may say, you know what, right now this probably won't be the best option for you, but come back in, let's say, a year, and we can look at that for you. So it really just depends. Every study is different. A lot of these studies, it is some testing that you have to go through, and it's a little bit of a process, but I would say it's worth it at the end because you're getting care that, well, first off, it's advanced therapies, right? These advanced medications that are not yet on the market. There's no other way you can get access to these devices, so I think that's pretty neat. And also it's at no cost, right? It's at no cost, no charge. So for when we're talking things like diabetic foot ulcers, and this is just their final option, they're unable to seek care and they've got a hole in their foot and they need help, we're there to help them.
That's awesome. So the patient does not have to bring, just because I was thinking about, we're talking about medical history, right?
Sure.
And they don't have to bring their whole chart of
wow, that would be heaven. But no.
Right. That'd be ideal. I don't have to do it all. But they don't have to. They because maybe they don't have access to that, or maybe they've never been to the doctor and they just know I have a problem.
Yeah. So what we see too is a lot of these subjects, we call them, right? They don't have the proper education to their diagnoses and overall treatments. They have no idea what they even have, and we'll request records for them, and our duty is to sit and review those records with them in detail and ensure everything is accurate. And if they have any comments, right, we're addressing those things. But when we go through them, we've noticed that a lot of these people don't know what they have.
Yeah.
Do you have, you have this? They never told me.
So not only is it, again, you're providing this service at free of charge to them, but you're also doing what their primary health physician should have done in the beginning, which is...
we do some really hardcore investigating at clinical trials. We want to see where your care started, where... And for these people that have... where the conventional treatments have failed, we want to know why. Let's take a whole look at everything and see, is this a good option for you? Could this help you? Or are you just very sick and you need to you need to maybe control these other ailments before we can think about controlling something such as a foot wound, right?
Yeah.
So we do take the time. A big part of our job is educating these the population here in the Rio Grande Valley. A lot of people don't know what's going on with their health, and it's scary.
But that's really good too. But I'm assuming this is also extensive because you're sending this research and data back to the pharmaceutical company or whoever is creating this cure or procedure, whatever whatever it is the research is on. But it has to be accurate because then it's going to be out in the world.
Definitely,
and many people are going to use it, and so that's crazy to think about, right?
It is. No, and I'm glad you brought that up because we pride ourselves on quality.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, we have extensive quality assurance processes, and we are reviewing this data over and over, and even with the subject, because they may say something too, and are you sure? Did you really feel that? Did you? And they really explain that to me, and then it's, well, maybe it was different. And okay, that's fine. Let's talk about it more. And you really have to dig deep and make sure that, yes, the information that you're sharing is accurate, and because it's important. It
absolutely is.
Yeah.
So, and I know we're talking about, and not being anonymous. So does the subject or the patient, when the research is now published, right? I'm just curious now too.
Good.
Is their name on it or anything like that?
So it's always confidential throughout the entire process.
Okay.
We do know their PHI, we call it, right? The personal health information. So we are aware of that, and we're able to confirm in the room. And when we consent them, we confirm with their ID, stuff like that. But when we're sharing all of that information to these pharmaceutical companies, we don't know any of that. They're noted by initials, and then they have a unique subject number that's given to them. Subject numbers look like 123-025, right? Random. But And that's how we refer to them. Subject 12, did they come into the visit today? Blah, blah. So we just kind of get in that rhythm. We never really disclose
Yeah, that's good
it's
to know.
always confidential, yes.
Because
Definitely.
sometimes things are published and you're like, oh my God, my name was on this and I didn't know.
Yes, no, it's always confidential. That's big important.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
So what kind of comes to mind as we're having this conversation is I feel like it'd be huge here in the Valley. Like, the service you're providing with the population we serve, I feel like it should be massive.
Yes.
What are maybe some misconceptions that people might have that you feel are holding?
Great. I love that question.
Yeah.
So let's start with just not knowing what clinical research is, right? The misconception there is I could die. I feel like that's a huge thing. I get that question all the time. Has anyone died? Oh my goodness. I don't know if we would be practicing. Like, it would be I don't know how that would work out, right? But no. No one has ever died. It's never a situation like that. I'm telling you, we know that this works, right? We know it's safe. And if we're talking safety is your concern, safety is our top priority.
Yeah.
The way I'm telling you that we investigate these, something such as simple as a headache, imagine things that are a little more concerning. We go deep, and we are on you. We're calling you, and we're ensuring your safety 100% of the time. But so that's a common misconception, that I'm entering something that is unsafe. It is not unsafe.
Yeah.
If anything, it's probably safer than what your conventional treatments are, because you don't really know what's going on. They're not selling anything. So safety is a big one. Another thing is this confidentiality, right? A lot of people will come in and, will anybody know that I'm doing this?
Yeah.
Who's going to find out, right? That's a common no one.
Yeah.
If you don't want anyone to know, we would never disclose any of the information. That's up to you if you want to share with your family and friends, which we do encourage that you have that discussion with your family, because they should have some part in this decision process for you. It's a big commitment to some people, right? So that's also another thing, is just that it's unsafe, common misconception. And right now as well, I would like to touch on, immigrant status, things like that. Right?
I was going to allude to that.
Scared. They're just scared to seek care, and those aren't things that concern us, right? I mean, what concern us is your health overall, and so if you qualify for the trial, you qualify. Those things aren't really factors in that, right? If you're able to attend your study visits and you're able to comply with what is required by the protocol, things, your past, whatever your situation is, that's not a concern to us. I think a lot of people, too, also feel like they're going to be scolded because they haven't received care in some time. They've stayed away for different things, different reasons. And some people are just scared of healthcare providers as a whole. And we want to debunk that, right? We're not here to scare you or to instill fear into you. We just want to educate you. And sometimes it is serious conversations that we have to have, or Dr. Caparuso will need to have with these potentials.
Right.
But I think it's for a great outcome. I think that it results in something good for everyone. So I'd say just take the time. If you're scared, if you're listening right now and you're scared to seek, right, just give us a call. Call us anonymously. You don't have to tell me any of your information. And I will sit with chat with you all day. Yeah. And kind of ease some of those concerns for you. I think that there is no, what's the word? Like consequence of just seeking the care.
Well, even us here, just like listening to you explain it, even me, I'm like, oh, this is great. That's why I'm like, well, it's great. Like, I want more people to hear about it and get it out, because a lot of our population does need that help, and they can't afford it. They don't
have access to it.
Yeah.
And I like they talked about, like, to not be scared, and whether it's clinical trials or going to the doctor, even calling and asking for help, right? Because it's intimidating.
Yeah.
And I think that's what our population, they see that and they're like, one, sometimes they don't even know, like you said, like what's going on. They don't know the terms.
Yeah.
Like some of these medical terms are insane, and you're hearing like diabetes, I don't know what, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, and so it's nice to hear that, one, you're trying to create that space, right, to feel comfortable, and but you're willing to explain, and I think that's so important, because a lot of times, and I feel like we were just talking about this, David, like you go to the doctor, you go somewhere, and it's like you're rushed, and you're like in and out, and like half the things like either weren't talked about, or you don't know you have them, or you didn't even have time for a question, So it's nice that you're giving them that time and that space to like ask all the questions.
I think a lot of people go through the just because when you mentioned that to me, it sparked the like the white coat syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah.
It happens. We see it.
It's
every day
intimidating,
almost.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm already thinking bad
But the
news.
thing is that I guess in y'all's case, you guys, one, you guys pride yourselves in taking that extra step, extra effort, versus other clinics or primary health providers. They're just kind of like, okay, well, I got 100, 200, whatever other patients that I got to go through. Like, okay, fine. Like, they didn't have questions, boom, move over. And I'm pretty sure a lot of these doctors or physicians can clearly see that the patient is like, they're like, we don't know what the heck you just said.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then they've got like 10
okay.
other people waiting
Yeah,
for
they're
them.
like,
So
this pill, this hour, this time, whatever.
yeah,
So I feel like that's something that should be really appreciated, that you guys are taking
take that
the
time. Absolutely.
Yes, we do.
I
I am
did-
curious. Oh, go for it.
I'm so
David.
sorry.
No, I overstepped.
So just because then I really want to. It was those two main questions that I had:
Sure.
the misconceptions, and then this one is the trials. So you guys cycle through certain trials that you guys are
Yes.
studying?
Good question.
Ooh, that was my
I'm excited to
question.
talk about our trial.
Yeah, that was my question. Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Our goal is to have various indications, so many indications that we don't know what to do with them, right? We started off with diabetic foot ulcers. That was Dr. Caparuso's bread and butter starting out because he was a podiatrist, right? Knew the treatment there and was able to take those studies and run with them. And then we went into things like plantar fasciitis, onychomycosis, which is like toenail fungus.
Thank you for explaining
then-
that.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like,
Yes, I'm sorry. So toenail fungus, diabetic foot ulcers, plantar fasciitis is when the plantar fascia band under your foot hurts. You have that
Yeah.
constant pain. A lot. It kind of radiates to your heel. So those are the treatments that we were really, and where I started out with as well. Dr. Caparuso opened his second facility. He started out in Complete Family Foot Care, his private practice where he works
wow.
at. So that's where Futuro Clinical Trials is born, and then grew into the building that it is now. We have a facility next door at 900 Lindbergh, and that's where we conduct our studies now.
What city?
In McAllen, Texas.
Okay, awesome.
Yes,
Nice.
78501 Lindbergh South 10th. Visit us. You could just come by anytime, and I'm there. So anyway, so once we started to grow and started to see, there's a big world of acute pain was really what his goal was to break into that acute pain. So we started with bunionectomies. So we were performing procedures to remove the bunion, the surgical procedure. The subjects would come back and stay with us 3 nights for observation. We started running as a 24-hour clinic.
Wow.
And I mean, from one week to the next, and he would talk about it. Since I started, he talked about, we're gonna have people staying overnight, and it's gonna be 24 hours. It's gonna be big. We're gonna have 10 inpatient. And I was so young and saw this dream and just thought, wow, right? He's got big dreams.
Yeah.
But then I saw them come to light, and and that sparked something into me, and I think that's also part of the passion I have, right? But as long as you have that dream and you have what he calls ganas, he taught that to me young, right? Anything can happen, and so it did. And we took off, and we broke into the cosmetic surgery, right? Thankfully, he's got great relationships with, a lot of the physicians here in the Valley, and we were able to get some cosmetic surgeons on board to participate in these trials, and that's when we started offering abdominoplasties. So it doesn't need to be also, it's not always for ailments that we treat, right? Sometimes we have elective procedures that we're able to offer, or things that are chronic conditions we're able to treat, such as osteoarthritis of the knee. That's a new study that we're going to be getting.
I saw that one online. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Did your research? Thank you so much. Yeah, so we're going to have osteoarthritis of the knee. That's going to be a TKA, total knee replacement.
Yeah.
And really, the surgery is not what's being investigated, right? Dr. Pacheco is going to be helping us out with that. He's out of McAllen as well. He will be performing that procedure as standard of care, his normal standard of care. And what our part is, we come in at the end, and we're now evaluating the medication that you're going to be getting after that. So that's our job. So these surgeries are not investigational. We know that the surgery is standard of care. It's what you'd be getting if you were to go and get it electively. It's just now we're analyzing some of the data after that and analyzing some of those medications that you'll be taking after. That's for TKA, the knee study, but we do plan to get studies also for preventative heart failure. So you don't have to have heart failure, right? But you do have to have diabetes and an associated heart condition like PAD, PVD, hypertension, something like that. And they're going to be looking at an anticoagulant with Farxiga. So it's just interesting things to see that we're getting new indications, right? We've also done inguinal hernia repairs. So we had Dr. Delpino assisting us with that, general surgeon out of Mission. So we have got a big team now. We've grown. When I started, we were about a team of 5. We have
Wow.
about over 20 physicians and just overall research staff that assist us in our trials because, like I say, we're breaking through into
that's
different various
awesome.
indications. So even if we don't have a trial that you're interested in right now, let's just say, right, I would say for me, if I were to be interested in something, I'd say maybe a nose rhinoplasty, right, nose job. So if you just say, you know, I'm interested in that, and you give us a call and say, you know what, if you ever get a study for this, let me know. Because we probably will. And when we do get that study, we're going to put you into a database. And when we get that, we'll reach out and say, you know, you had past interest in something like this. We're getting that. Or would you be interested now? And so we have that information available. So you don't have to be constantly checking in on what is Futuro doing. Just let us know, what would you be interested in? What sticks out to you or to your family or friend?
Yeah.
And when we get that trial, because we will, we'll reach out to you.
On that note, does that, as you're getting new trials, do you cycle out? Like, how does that work?
So the trials,
Is it like
every
Netflix
trial
or
is
it's like Leaving
different.
Soon?
Yeah, yeah, it's so different. Everything is, so there's different things like competitive enrollment. Sometimes it's just enrollment. They'll give you a certain number that you're going to have to meet throughout the duration of the trial. They could take 2 months. It could take 3 years.
Yeah.
It just depends on how difficult it is to enroll in a trial. If you're talking about something like an abdominoplasty where everyone and their mama wants a tummy tuck,
Yeah.
that's going to be something that's going to go really quick. So that's going to probably finish in 2 months, right, rather than 2 years.
Yeah.
So then that would be a really popular one. So walk us through, let's say somebody does qualify for the, what do you call it?
Abdominoplasty, yes.
Plasty. Tummy tuck, aka.
Yeah, it's called
So they
AKA
qualify. So then you guys do, the surgeon does the surgery, and you guys study the medication that they
Yeah.
take post-op
Yes.
and see kind of.
Wow.
That's. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
Okay.
So and like I say, it's just always different, right? I could tell you that for one study, they're testing a pain medication for abdominoplasty, but in the next abdominoplasty, they're testing an anticoagulant medication, right, to see how blood clots and stuff.
Okay,
So
yeah.
everything is just different. It just kind of
That's
depends.
crazy.
But mainly, we look at acute pain. We've done a lot of pain medications
Okay.
and seeing how that works. And sometimes it's remember, it's a lot of the time double-blinded, which means that we don't know what you're getting. You may get the medication, but you may also get a sugar pill, which is placebo, right?
Yeah.
And we're never gonna,
Oh.
yeah. And so let's say you're coming out of a tummy tuck, you're in pain, we give you something, we're gonna see how you're feeling after. We don't know what you got, right? Let's say maybe you're still in some pain. Okay, then we're gonna take care of that. If you're still in pain, it's never a situation like, oops, too bad.
Like that's
Yeah,
luck of
right.
the draw,
You didn't
right?
get
It's
it.
like,
Yeah,
You got the sugar
pill.
That is
What a
our-
shame you got
yeah.
the sugar pill. Thank you so much for coming.
Exactly. I feel like that's another common misconception. We are gonna still take care of that
Right.
pain and treat it, right? We
Right.
have other what we call rescue medication. There's other
Yeah.
things. We will never let someone suffer. That's not what we do. Like I say,
course.
safety is our top priority. But when you're in pain, you may not have got the investigation
you're like,
product, right? So, but
Sugar pill.
but you never know. We never know, and we never take that face value. There's also something called a placebo response, right? So it's where you think you got something because we told
course,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's all
Yeah.
mental too. So you just have to be very careful when you're taking in information, have no bias.
Okay.
We don't know, we don't think. If you are in pain, you are in pain. You're telling me that. If you're not, you're not. I mean, it just, it's a lot of subjective.
How do you have do you have a conversation with someone that they take a sugar pill
That's it.
and they're like, man, I feel great. What'd you give me? And then you're like, do you tell them? Do
So
you like
let me tell
what
you,
happens?
I'm glad you're going through this. Guys, it's a lot that we do here. So we go under extensive training. We have extensive training for each protocol. So when you get a protocol, you have to go through the training of the actual document, and then there's other things that they train you on. So one of those things is placebo response. We have to be trained on how to deliver the information in such a way that we're not manipulating their thought process or
yeah.
having any effect on that response.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time we're going into the room, we're very neutral. It's very, how are you? What can I do to help if you need anything? And if they are in pain, it's like, how are you? It's not like, how are you? Are you okay?
Yeah.
It's, are you okay? It's very just neutral. You don't want to have any effect on what they're
Right.
doing. So
No,
they
because then
ask-
they'll respond to your facial
Yeah.
expressions like, oh,
exactly.
am I?
And then someone like me, you'll know right away, right? If I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So We don't know. We truly don't know
Yeah.
in those situations, and we don't. We let them know that I'm so sorry. I don't know. It could be if you feel great. That's good to hear. You probably did. I mean, I don't. We don't know.
Okay.
We have no idea.
So you're
what you thought.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
Just
just
remain very neutral, and that's in
Yeah.
situations like that, right?
But
There's
it is
some,
charted somewhere, like they got this one and they got that one.
but we don't know.
But you-
so,
oh, okay.
So it is
okay.
charted somewhere,
Gotcha.
and a lot of the times it's the pharmaceutical company that knows.
Okay, like
And then there's different things, guys. If you want to come by Futuro, please come by. We can go deep into trainings. You can join
Right.
our staff trainings. But so there's something called unblinding. So if there's ever a situation where a reaction occurs, and it's something serious of nature, then we may need to unblind and say, okay, what did they get? Now we need to know. Dr. Caparuso needs to know what they got so that we can properly treat whatever's happening.
yeah.
So then it's still
okay.
not a situation
Gotcha.
like too bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like-
we still are going to find out and get to the bottom of it when safety is a factor, when safety is in question. But for the most part, we'll never know. Some studies will tell you. Some studies will even tell the subject. For example, we have a diabetic foot ulcer study where you could receive a wound graft or you could receive the standard of care, which is what you're already receiving in private clinic, just now at no cost, right? And
Yeah.
as part of the trial. So we tell them, you did get it. You did get the wound graft, or you did it. And sometimes they're even happy if they didn't. They're like, "Whoa, it's okay. It's okay. I'm still happy just to be a part of it." There's some people are so sweet, just so grateful for the opportunity to receive the care. So, but there's situations like that where we'll tell them like, "Oop, didn't get it. Maybe next time," or "It's okay, no big deal. You're still getting standard of care. You would have received it anyway." Or "Here, you did get the product. Like that's great." So,
What is like I'm just curious, like the follow-up process. Like, do some people have to be like followed up after a year, or is it like a couple months? Like,
So part of the consent, when you consent, is the follow-up and us reaching out to you and having all this is just while you're in the trial.
okay.
So once the study completes and you're out, we don't bother you anymore for the past studies you've participated in. Maybe just for future recruitment, right? Say, hey, we have another study, you want to participate. But if you, again, every protocol is different. If you're in the trial, some visits are follow-up weekly. You have to come weekly for a year. That's part of the trial. A lot of the foot wounds, right, it's about 12-week treatment time.
Yeah.
So they'll come in weekly for 12 weeks and get that treatment and see if there's any progression. Sometimes they heal before that, right? And then we're grateful for that when that happens. So then that'll shorten the study timeline that you're the amount that you're in time that you're in this trial. Every study differs.
Yeah,
Every study
no, that's
is
what I was
different.
thinking. I'm imagining every study differs.
Yeah,
but you
quick
do
ones-
follow, like you have to follow them through, right? Obviously.
Yes, for sure. We're following them up and checking on their condition.
Do you have anyone? And I mean, it's sad if they do, but that falls off. Like they're just like after, let's say, 6 weeks, and then you just can't contact them anymore.
That does happen sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Luckily, what we do as part of our screening process is ensure that that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? Is there any reason that you would ghost us? Right?
Please don't.
Some people also. Like the winter Texans, right? They'll
Yeah.
come down for a certain amount of time and they'll go up. So we're wary about putting them in our trials, right? If you're going to leave, it's probably not a good idea for you to start right now. Some people just randomly will change their mind, and we can't really do anything to help that. We'll reach out to them as we can, and we wish them the best.
Just
send
out of your
letters,
control.
Yeah. But sometimes that would be considered lost to follow up. We kind of let that go. But we hope that never happens. We hope it's kept to
absolutely.
a minimum.
So it's August 22, 2025. What is Futuro Clinical Trials? Like what are you guys excited about? What's
Ooh,
coming
that's a good
up? What's in the
question.
pipeline?
Yeah. So right now we have year-round we're going to have our diabetic foot ulcer study. So know that.
Okay, cool.
If you know someone with a diabetic foot ulcer, send them over. We're always going to have something available for them. Coming up, though, shortly in due time, we're going to get that TKA study I was telling you about, so that total knee replacement trial. So we are already in the startup process for that one. We did also just get awarded that preventative heart failure study.
Okay.
So we're looking at
Congratulations,
that.
that's
Yes,
exciting.
Thank you. It is so exciting. Thank
Yeah.
you. We're looking into starting to recruit for that one. So like I said, DM type 2, an associated medical condition, cardiac condition like hypertension, PAD, PVD, which is usually very common in DM type 2.
Okay.
So just reach out if you have those things and are interested in receiving some sort of treatment. And
I did see, just because I was looking at y'all's website,
yeah.
you have all of that available online too. Like if anybody's
Yeah.
just like, I want to check their website before I go in because
Yes.
I'm nervous or whatever.
Yes.
But you do have all of those clinical trials on there.
We do.
Like whatever's happening in the future, but also what's current, right?
Yes. So if you ever have a question about what's going on at Futuro Clinical Trials, you're more than welcome to view our website and also kind of put a face to the names, because we do have our staff photos up there, and you can see our lovely staff that will be assisting you. You can call us with any questions. I really do encourage the phone calls, because I can sit and talk for hours.
And no, I'm glad you say that, because like your website is great, and I was looking at like the different trials you have, and they're very descriptive, and I think you all do a beautiful job of explaining within that space you have, right?
You. Yeah,
but like not everyone reads the whole paragraph of stuff. Like, you know, I'm at fault. I like skim through it, so it's nice to know like I can call and talk to a real person, and maybe have it explained even in terms I'll understand, as opposed to like, oh, I don't know all these terms, you know.
And you're always going to speak to a person at Futuro Clinical Trials. What I notice when I'm reaching out to a lot of these facilities trying to get our information out there, you know, it's so hard to speak to anybody. It is so hard.
You're on the phone
nowadays.
Forever.
Yeah.
You're just playing like phone tag.
And then you're getting frustrated, and you're like, you know what, never mind.
And you know, we at Futuro Clinical Trials know more than anyone what it's like to be busy. We've seen some really busy times, and we still answer our phones. We want to make sure that we're able and available to the community and the public. So we're always available.
Awesome.
Even if you call after hours, we'll get a message overnight saying, you know, so-and-so reached out, and we'll give you a call first thing in the morning. So we're definitely have a quick follow-up.
All of this stuff is done, it's an in-house, right? So like it's there at your facility in McAllen.
For the most part, but we do have some trials where we're operating out of hospitals. So we work with DHR closely, Mission Regional Hospital as well.
But all within like the Rio Grande Valley.
Yes,
like
at this
typically
time.
They don't at this time, we're like, maybe we'll travel.
So, so we actually do work with Dr. Lee, who's a cosmetic surgeon out of McAllen.
Okay.
And he does have a facility in Bernie.
Oh.
So when we have, you know, relationships like that, and it's possible that maybe one day we can go out to that site. We already have him on our staffing. We can just go out and start doing trials out of there. So really, we can be very mobile. We can,
That's awesome.
You know, so right now, yes, Rio Grande Valley, but we do plan to branch out one day.
That's incredible. That's
what about the cosmetic trials you guys have that are maybe
coming up?
Yeah, I need some touch-ups.
Something that's coming
I need some touch-ups. Asking for me.
So in the past, when it comes to cosmetic surgery, we have done a lot of things. We've done BBLs. We've done brachioplasties, which is the cutting of the skin in the arm, right? You've got loose skin in your arm, they'll cut that off. We've done liposuction, the front lipo, back lipo, the abdominoplasties. We've done breast lifts. So a lot of stuff we have the experience in. At this time, we don't have any enrolling trials, but we do plan to receive an abdominoplasty trial early 2026. So that's coming up. That's going to be exciting.
Right?
Yeah, put it on your calendars. Everyone give us a call to get into that database.
Yeah.
I assume.
Like I say, we keep our database ready to go. So if you are interested, you give us a call, and we're going to put you in, and we'll put you on that list. And because it's getting long, and thank God it is. Yeah. So we're blessed. We're just so excited to continue to grow our database, because we can do a lot if they give us the opportunity. If people give us their interest, we can bring a lot more trials here to the Valley. If we're able to say, we have all of these people with diabetes, and all of these people want help. They'll give us a trial, right? They're gonna say, okay, let's give them a shot. They say they have the data that we need. Let's give them that trial. So if we just have a list of people saying, I need this, I want this help, we can share that, and then we can help them.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you have any memorable, like, maybe it was a patient that was very skeptical in the beginning?
Ooh, like a story.
Yeah, like a success story that kind of,
Sure. So actually, just as of recent, so it's hard to see people heal, right? With these diabetic foot wounds, it's hard to heal them because there's issues with circulation, right? The blood flow. There's issues with offloading if they're not wearing the right shoe. It's really important that they're keeping off that wound, and that's hard. To get to point A to point B, you got to move your legs, right? You got to move your feet. So it's difficult for them. So we just had someone recently who healed. And that was so exciting. It's so exciting to see. I mean, it's rare when you see it. So when you do, and you can see that excitement in their faces, and they cry, and their wife is crying, right? And you're just a part of that. Something so beautiful, and you know that they're gonna go home, and there's that. That's what it's all about. I feel like it's really, we're able to offer that care, and I've got a lot of off stories like that where I've left crying, right? Because I'm just like so happy that we were able to help these people or these families. And sometimes it's not even because they're healing, but because of the education. Just now they know, now that they know they're going to go about things differently, and
Yeah.
they feel a sense of hope that they didn't have before.
Yeah.
So seeing them walk out with that is just a huge win for us.
Yeah, you're seeing that change,
Yes,
right? And that's awesome.
Yeah, it really is amazing. It's a great feeling just to be there, just talk with them. A lot of people don't get that. A lot of people just want that interaction. They're
Yeah.
older, they're by
Honestly.
themselves. They have no one there for them sometimes. Sometimes it's just them.
It's nice
So,
to see. Do y'all
yeah.
do testimonials like within like your?
Yeah, if they're willing, we do have Facebook, right? So if you want to go in there on Facebook and comment, but like I say, we try to keep things very
Very not-
confidential. So even if you're willing to share that you were participating in it, we probably won't share that.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
we'll keep it anonymous, but we'll definitely share what you say.
Yeah,
If you
just-
had a great experience,
Yeah.
we'd love to hear it. We do recommend, we encourage you to leave us reviews on
Yeah.
Google and anywhere you can, so that we always want to be better. Everyone can grow. Everyone can be better, and we take that every day. I think that it starts from the top, honestly. And Dr. Caparoso is very humble. He always is doing it. His top priority is safety, patient safety,
Yeah.
and being able to bring that to the valley. He's not from here, right? He's from New York, and so but he's grown with us. He's
been here
seen
for
the
a while.
valley,
Yeah, he's
So
been here for a while.
it's his home. It's his
Yeah.
home now, and he wants to bring the care to his home.
We've adopted him. He is from here.
Yeah,
He's been
no,
here
he
for so
is.
long. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. Do you have any other questions that you might have on your mind, Claire? Before
I'm not at this moment, but I feel like, my mind
Yeah.
is crazy. But no, did you have anything like that we missed that you're like, hey, we didn't talk about this?
I couldn't tell you, but let me tell you what I want to leave everyone off with.
Yes. Yeah.
I really want everyone to know who we are, Futuro Clinical Trials. We are a clinical research site, and we are not trying to take any of your patients. If they have established care and they have someone that they're seeing and they're healing, they're getting the proper treatment they need, that is great. But there is someone out there that does not have the access to care. They're sitting at home and they're probably dipping their foot in alcohol, praying that it heals. But that's not going to help.
Yeah.
You need to get seen. And if you're scared about it, right, you just give us a call and we can ease you into the process, and we can assure you that all we are looking for is to help you. And if you can just come in, we can have a talk, see what you would qualify for. If you can't qualify for anything at this time, we are always going to keep your information close and handy, and we'll reach out to you when we can offer that help to you. But we just want to be seen as a treatment option for people that need it. So
I love that. Now that you're saying that, I do have a question.
Sure.
So, like, for somebody who goes in and they don't qualify, but you can see that they do need some type of help, right? And you're just like, I'm sorry, we want to match, and that's okay. Like, you give them, obviously, the information that you're giving everybody else, but do you refer or say, like, hey, you need to go talk to a provider? Maybe they can't afford it, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, these are some clinics that are free to you. Do you guys do that?
Definitely.
Okay, that's
So
good.
typically we'll refer to Nuestra Clínica, right? Get some care, start talking with someone and see. A lot of the times if they're not qualifying for things like they're not on a stable dose of medication for their diabetes, that's where we're going to refer you. Let's get started there.
Yeah.
And Nuestra Clínica is probably the best place to do that if they don't have the ability to pay for a visit or they don't have insurance. We'll start there. But we're very open to receiving those resources from the community. If like you all have here, all of those resources available, we're able to share that with them because now we know. So it's just about sharing that information with the community. Anything that's available to the community, we do want to share that. We just want them to seek the care that they need.
Yeah.
And we will help with resources if we can.
Thank you for saying that, because I feel like that's also something that's important, that they go and they're interested and they want to do this, and then maybe, it's unfortunate if they're not a fit and they don't leave there helpless or feeling like, okay, like there's nothing left, or, like I'm going to live with my foot like this, or you give them other options and tell them like, hey,
Of course, if it isn't a foot wound that they're coming in for and they don't have insurance, Dr. Caparoso will still see them. Dr. Caparoso will still take a look and see, let's see how serious this is. Let's see what you could probably start doing, have a little consult with them.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely, that'll still happen. If they don't have the access, we will at least take that time to share.
Yeah, that's incredible,
Yeah.
because like that's the last thing you want, right? Is for someone to like get the ganas to want to do this, right?
Yeah.
And then they're there and you're like, I'm sorry. And I'm sure it happens that people just aren't a fit, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But you don't want them leaving discouraged and like,
No, and we
I have
want
to live with my foot like this.
Yeah, and we want to keep that relationship close too. Like we
Yeah.
will follow up probably after a month. Did you get seen? Did you talk to someone?
Oh,
We
good.
keep
Wow,
really
that's
good.
amazing.
Yeah, we keep really strong relationships with the community. that's, without them, what are we to do? We have no jobs without them.
Yeah.
So we are constantly calling and following up. How are you? And, did you get the care you needed? Yeah. Oh, I still can't go sometimes. Okay, well, you let us know when you're going to go or whatever situation may be. Yes, we do.
And that's such a testament to your leadership too. I mean, it sounds like like you said, it comes from the top, right? So it just trickles down to all of you, and I think that's really beautiful too to hear that.
Yeah, it's awesome to see how someone that's as passionate as you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, sign me up. You got me.
Great.
That's really.
If you
nice.
want to volunteer to go out in the community with us,
yeah.
I'm excited to see where you all go. Your events that you.
Yeah, that's David's thing, but for sure.
I was gonna say, if you guys have any events that you guys might want us to also be a part of,
Yeah.
we can connect in that way as well.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
great.
We can share that. 100%.
So before I'm getting ready to close out here. Before we do, all of our guests that come on, I always ask them the same question before they leave, and that closing question is, what does success look like to you? So Haley Salazar, in your own personal opinion, what does that look like to you? It doesn't have to be work. It's just broad spectrum.
Wow, that's a really
that's a heavy question, right? Yeah,
it really
take a minute if you need it.
I love it though. I really love it. I feel that everyone strives for success, right? And I do believe that success is different for everyone. I believe that for me, success is just the ultimate happiness, right? You are just so satisfied with what you are doing. You are successful. That is the only measurable that I could compare with success is you are just so happy with what you're doing. And like right now, I think I'm pretty successful. I think that what I am doing and being able to be here and sharing this information with you, that is success for me. Being able to say maybe one person who didn't know about Futuro Clinical Trials learned about us today, that is success. That makes me happy. It makes me proud. That's success to me, I think.
And you know what? I can see the passion on your face. Like, for those listening in and they can't see this. Like, you were smiling
I have no
the
Botox,
entire
that's why
time.
I need that.
Like, ear to ear, and it's just so nice to hear and see like your passion. And it's refreshing, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's refreshing. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for talking to us and being coming in.
Okay. Well, on that note, great answer, by the way.
Yeah, great answer.
On that note, do you want to maybe just plug anything else before I close this out here? I know you did a pretty good job.
Futuro Clinical Trials, 100% of the time. Futuro Clinical Trials, please come visit us just to see what we're about. Come visit our facility. I'll take you for a tour. It is so beautiful. Dr. Caparuso has made just a beautiful, peaceful place for us to thrive, and I would love for everyone to come see us. So
Awesome. Well, on that note, we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Unidos Unplugged, and we hope to see you on the next one. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for listening.